Inspector General of Police Aliegba on Tuesday said no fewer than 53 suspects have been arrested in connection with the recent wave of deadly attacks in Benue and Plateau State. The attacks claimed dozens of lives and left several others injured or displaced. This is as he said the suspects will be arraigned in court without delay for their roles in the brutal attacks. The IGP described the June 13 massacre in Yeluwata community of Benue State as a coordinated attack of terror. He said 26 were arrested for the attack in Yeluwata, 22 suspects in connection with the Plateau incident, and another 5 in Benue for a more recent attack in Makurdi. Well, we are now being joined by a former Benue State Commissioner, Professor Eugene Aliegba, to assess the potential impact of the latest arrest. He will also discuss the remote and immediate causes of the Benue IDP protest and the political factors underlying the president's inability to visit Yeluwata, where more than 200 persons were massacred by the attackers. Professor, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Yeah, good afternoon, and viewers all. I'm happy to be on this program this afternoon.
So let's get right into it. Do you think this arrest, can be considered as a direct result of President Bola Tinubu's directives to the IGP, to arrest these suspects? Do the police really need directive from the president before they do their job? What does this say about the effectiveness of the president's leadership in addressing security challenges?
Well, thank you for this opportunity. Once again, I wish to use this opportunity to condole with the people of Benue and indeed Nigeria for over this horrible incidents that we have experienced. As I mentioned here last time when I was here some days back, that the Yeluwata issue was the last straw, let's just call it so, and believe that nothing was like that will happen again, but that it was the height of it. Prior to this, there has been very, very horrible incidents that have happened within the states. And I did also mention very clearly that where I come from was literally, in recent past, the worst hit by this attack, to the extent that out of the 15 council wards, only the local government headquarters was housing citizens. So you can imagine the number of IDPs, and I will come to that later. And so, again, the point must be made that it's not as if efforts were not being made. 3 weeks to this time, there had been an operation which helped a lot to reduce the level of attacks, especially, again, I want to cite the case of Gwe West and surrounding local governments within the state headquarters. So there has been efforts, tremendous efforts have been made. And I don't think that it will be right to say that the certain level of apprehensions or knowledge by the security of most of these perpetrators has not been there. I think that would not be so correct. But even just like I mentioned last time there, I said that by the time the president comes around, it will be very clear in his direct contact with the commanders, obviously where there were problems that were hindering major breakthroughs in terms of achieving some success in this operation. I think what we are calling arrest now, I would say that is one of the major breakthroughs in the operation to achieve maximum efforts towards nipping this horrible problem down. So I would say that it's the president, by the time he came, much encouragement had taken place. Much would have happened behind the scene that would have unbundled whatever the obstructions were and the major problems were that has given rise to this huge success. But I must say that the security consistently should also be commended when they do what is good. We are more at home criticizing more. And yeah, they will not have done much to our expectation, but that the fact that something is happening, something takes place, and that they are present help to keep both physical and psychological security must be appreciated. So for me, I would say that yes, efforts were being made, and the present visit has helped to intensify so that we can achieve what has been achieved, and perhaps more in future.
And speaking of the president's visit, I want to delve a little deeper into that. How important is it for a president to physically visit the site of such a profound tragedy? What are your thoughts on some of the criticisms he's been getting due to the perceived excuses as to why he could not access the site, such as bad roads and insecurity itself, ironically?
Now, first and foremost, I'm a bit worried that people will sit on the national television and make horrible statements that are so unfounded and so and so untrue and so ungodly and so evil and satanic. The Yellow Water is on the major highway. It's a town on the major highway. It's not a town outside, not a second drive off, not 1 second drive out of the main express way from Lafayette to Makurdi. So it is not. Secondly, I drove on that road that morning. I passed through, and virtually there were all kind of security present waiting for the president. The community was there. I can name you community leaders whom I know very well within the ranks of the APC that I share political affiliation with, who were there and waiting. I can give you names and names of retired security personnel working with us. So the president's decision, I think, not to come to Yellow Water cannot be attributed that there was no road for him to come. I think that was not, that is, I think the presidency should have an explanation for that. I won't say, but I must say that definitely it's not because of, there was no road, yeah.
Well, we're almost completely out of time, but before we go, I would like you to talk about the displacement of persons in Benue State. You know, what can be done to curb this? And for those that are already in the IDP camps, what can be done, you know, to give them a sense of normalcy?
Yeah, what I would like to say here first and foremost is that people are displaced, people are wounded, people are hurt. People have lost loved ones. Some people have lost an entire family. People are homeless. These people need support. They need sympathy. They need physical, financial, and emotional support. They don't need our war. They don't need for us to fan embers of political conflict and war so that we can score political chips. I think that is, for people to sit and make political capital out of this is completely very unfounded and very unfair. That said, the second thing to say is that, yes, the IDPs have been there. The worst has happened in the last 3-6 months, where most attacks in the 6 local government created and made a worse situation out of it. I know that SEMA is managing the state emergency, is managing the federal government, and also managing the situation. And individuals are also going to these places to see and give support.
Very
and I
well
think
said,
it's our responsibility all to see that we give support.
Very well said, Professor. Thank you so much for joining the program today. Professor Eugene Aliegba, the Benue State Commissioner, former Benue State Commissioner. Thanks for joining us.